Good morning, friend. Good morning, friends. It's Tuesday morning, August 19th. It's time for coffee on the porch. And you're jumping in. This is a weekly live stream that I do here in my studio. Let me see how. Yeah, I probably need to be over here a bit. The camera shifts. I shift. Hi, welcome. Coffee on the Porch with Eric. That's where you are. It's a weekly live stream. We talk about music, politics, spirituality, life. Try to find our way through impinging fascism. Listen to that sound. Listen to that. Sometimes you just gotta let the vibrations feel into you. Welcome. It's Coffee on the Porch. My name is Eric Folkerth. I do this live stream here. I'm no longer on the porch most of the time. I'm usually here in the studio, but we're here every Tuesday morning. And if you're finding us on Substack, this is what the deal is. We talk about all these things: spirituality, music, art, life, and we're here for an hour and play a few songs, talk about the world, talk about how faith intersects with the world in this, again, time of impinging, I suppose, fascism. You guys jump on really nicely here on Substack because of the notification, I know. But if you want a little nudge ahead of that, like if you're, it's Tuesday morning, you're running around the house, you're trying to think, okay, I got to remember to jump on. And then you think, damn, I forgot again. Well, I'll send you a little nudge at 9 a.m. if you just want to scan that QR code or go to that link. And it's the only message I'll send you all week. I really, truly promise. I will not spam you with a lot of other stuff. It's just a little way to nudge yourself and remind yourself that we will be here at 9:30, as you are. You are here at 9:30. And so with that, let me say hi to folks. Good morning, Mary O'Shaughnessy. Good morning, Blue Bunny and Carol Admonson and Sheila Ginson. Welcome to all of you. You are new folks here. We're glad that you are here. Dan Gilliam is here. Tara down in Brownwood. Good morning, Janine Fino Curtis. Good morning, Peg Davis, saying good morning back. Good morning, Janie Henderson. Joanne Boley, a lot of new folks here today. Good morning, Nancy Bryant up in Colorado, in Foco, Colorado. What's the temperature there today? Let's compare that. Good morning, Rick Lang, also down in Brownwood. Good morning, Debbie Berger. Bobby and Debbie are on, they say. And good morning, Kat Bird. Good morning, Carol Ann. I see Carol Ann here. Kat says, good morning from Grapevine. We have people who join us all over the country, which is super fun, usually. Have folks from all sorts of places, which is very nice. It's a blessing. It's a nice thing. So let's get right to it. No need to dawdle. Good morning, Linda Roberta Hibbs. Lots of new porchers, I know. Make them feel welcome. Say hi to them. This is what we do. We do this live stream for about an hour, and it's a weaving together of whatever's going on in the world that you want to talk about, or your lives. stuff that I pre-prepare as well, and we just kind of are here for that hour. But we start with this primary first. Oops, messing my. This primary first up question, if you will. This is the first question of the day. Always, how is your soul? How you doing? How you holding up here in the midst of these times? And this is where we have our coffee or our tea or whatever you're doing. 69 degrees in Foco. Okay, see, this is where we diverge this time of year, right? I think a couple weeks ago, if I remember, it was hotter there than it was here, which is freaking ridiculous. But it is 87 here today. We're back more near normal. It's time for some coffee, y'all. Let's pour whatever you're going to have. This is my Onyx coffee from Fayetteville, Arkansas. An amazing roaster there. Amazing coffee shop. Cheers, friends. Get your mug. Oh man, I can smell it. My nose is really wonderful today. Take a big long sip of whatever it is that you're drinking and join us here, okay? You do tea. Yes, tea is good. Tea is good. Tea, coffee, whatever the drink of your choice. Good morning, my friend Betsy Schenk. Are you up in Denton? Welcome. And then the question on the floor, right on the official Coffee on the Porch mug, is how is your soul? How is your soul? This is a very Methodist question from way back. More sipping of the coffee for me. But leave a comment. This is how we check in. You leave me a little comment. You say how you are. Say good, bad, indifferent. Oh, look at this. Rick Lang says coffee and peanut butter cookies with chocolate chips. I'm all for that. I'm all for that as well. I'm for whatever it is that is your morning routine. Good morning, Linda Waring, joining us from Ohio. Welcome. Good morning, Nancy Kelly. Good morning, Janie. I noodle on the guitar for a little while. While you leave some messages. Then we read back and talk about them for a minute. Sounds like a Fogelberg intro. Oh, it's not, but I love that connection. I'll tell you more about that later. before, some mornings I just want to sit here and do this. All right, friends. Let's check in. Let's see how you're doing. Let's see what you are saying. Not as many comments today. A lot of people, but not a lot of a few. Okay, you've got a few things. Betsy Shink says this. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It's harder to sing that these days for a lot of people. But Betsy, it makes me happy that you are saying that it is well with your soul. That is wonderful. Janie Henderson says this, y'all. This is a big deal. Let's support Janie a bit today. Not to be a downer, but Thursday is the first anniversary of one of my older brother's deaths. The circumstances were particularly difficult, and I still struggle to understand. Those anniversaries come around, and we feel them in our body, don't we? You know, you feel that stuff. It sometimes you don't even realize it. You know, the date gets close, and all of a sudden your thoughts start drifting toward that. So, big prayers to you as you move through that unwanted anniversary. Prayers for continued healing. Tara says this, my soul is stressing and ready to take a mental health break. Well, do that. Rick Lang says this, my soul is good, just been working and walking a lot. Good. I'm going to talk about walking in a bit. I am. Carol Ann says this, I was in the Seattle, Portland area for 2 weeks visiting my kids. Nice, but 2 days of 100 degrees in Portland. Unheard of. Back to regular life and home. My kids hug my heart. Aw. Let me tell you this. You know, it's so weird. I mentioned on Facebook, I made a note about the weather. Here in Dallas, we have only had one 100-degree day this summer. One. They've had more, if what you're saying is true, and I have no reason to doubt it, they've had more 100-degree days in Portland than we have had in Dallas. What is up with that? The world is weird. Nancy Bryant says this, I do a podcast. So I'm working on a podcast, and I fiddled with some knobs in Substack, and I may have incidentally set one up. I'm not even sure. There may be a podcast that I'm unaware of. But I will... I'm very interested in doing that. I have a lot of people I would like to interview, and I have some story podcast ideas, and it's just a matter of the dedicated time to do it. But I would like to do that. Carol Ann says, a big Texas hello and welcome to the new folks. Absolutely. Good morning, Karen Milam. I believe that's you, Kay Milam. Is that right? Nancy Bryant says, without going into too much detail, can all who know Terry keep a place in her heart? She's going through a rough patch. I'm generally aware of what you're talking about, and I agree. There is a rough patch for her. That's a good reminder for me to check in with her. Thank you. Linda Waring says this, my soul is okay, accepting changes to my physical abilities, adapting to changes in our country, in the world. I'm not sure if steady state is possible for my soul right now. That's a very honest thing to say. I think that's probably true for many of us, right? I mean, with everything going on, it is a bit hard to imagine a steady state right now. So I'm kind of unsurprised that is challenging with you. And Linda says, my soul is okay now. Good. I'm very, very happy to hear that as well. Well, thank you for checking in, everybody. I am going to, you know what I like to do, and if you can do this, would love for you to, oops, would love for you to, I'm not going to do that now. I'm scrolling. I was going to share it in my own Facebook feed, but I'll do that later. We're getting a lot of engagement here during the hour, and we're getting lots of views later, so I'm going to leave that alone. All right, how is my soul? This is the next thing we do. I just tell you a few things going on in our world. At the church I serve, Kessler Park United Methodist Church, my Lord, we keep having tons of people. Tons of people. Lots of visitors. Attendance is up. Lots of families with kids. My goodness, I just it still astounds me each day, each Sunday. It's wonderful. And I think it's a measure, it really is, I believe, a measure of, everything I keep telling you guys that we as people, we really do need to be around people in the real world right now. All of us need real world connections. And I think what we're seeing is people responding to that, people responding to a inclusive, progressive message. Yeah, Nancy, I'm super happy about it too. And wanting to be together, wanting to connect, wanting places in their neighborhood that they can connect. So thank you to Pastor Kay, who is our Pied Piper of the children, and thank you to all those who keep showing up. It continues to be wonderful every week. We had a leadership board retreat on Saturday, most of the day on Saturday. There's that beautiful group of folks. Oh, I guess I cut myself out of the picture. Well, I was in the picture for a minute, and then I'm in that picture. I'm in there somewhere. And we did some cogitating on some goals and mission for 2026. Looking forward to the next year. Look at that. Look at these people deep in thought. They're looking at the core values of the church. What do we value as a church? We did discover our old mission statement, and our vision statement, which we have not been mentioning much, but we still kind of like. As disciples of Christ at Kessler Park UMC, we welcome, connect, grow, and help. Yeah, we leave it general because that way everything we're doing fits inside of that, right? So thank you to Christine, our board chair, and to everybody on the board for a really fun Saturday. Closer to home, right around the corner from me, if you know, some of you know my neighborhood, so let me show you this first. There's an old store around the corner that was. Hey, good morning, Edie. There's an old store around the corner from us. This dates to probably 1918, I'm guessing. It was right on the trolley line. Y'all, that looks like a hitching post on the front. That's because that's what it was. This dates to the time when people rode horses around the neighborhood. This little store. And it's been there ever since, and it's owned by a family, but we're hoping to bring it back as a little store or a community center of some kind. And this great guy, Isaac Davies, is a great muralist in town. And he's adding a mural to the side of the building. And I've known of him for some years. And I just went around and met him. I'd never met him in the real world. So thank you to Isaac. Thank you to Brian for the design. And it's a lovely little store. I'm hopeful that it might one day be a store or community center again. Stay tuned. I'm worried about the trees. I have been. Y'all, this just, on the same day, Denise is out at the lake house. We had a big branch fall at the lake house. And then about 2 hours later, we had a big old branch fall in the front yard here at home. And I just really start to worry about the health of our trees. I just think they're stressed. all the water we got earlier in the year, followed by all the blazing sun. I worry about them. So anyway, that happened. I cut that up. It's fine. Cut it up, moved it off. Also in church on Sunday, my friend Sharon. Sharon is a United Methodist pastor from Arizona. And she was in town. She was coming through town. She came to worship. And so afterwards, she and I snapped this picture at the very end just before we left. And I hadn't seen Sharon in 35 years, y'all. So that was super fun to reconnect with her. So that's a little bit of what's been going on in my world. Let's get right into some conversation. I want to follow up. Last week, we did a deep dive into enemy making. Pretty deep stuff, I think. Stuff that's very important to me. And I want to refer you back to this essay. It is about Donald Trump, but it is more about the dynamic or process of making enemies and how that is transcultural, transnational. It is deeply, as a pastor, the point I like to make about it is deeply human issue. And we tend to otherize people. And we can see that through what has typically been called war propaganda. Propaganda used by a country at a time of war. And this is a good example. I got some writing over the top of it, but it says, this is a current day government propaganda from the United States of America, from the Department of Homeland Security. America needs you to join ICE. And I just want you to note what's happening here, that Uncle Sam has Uncle Sam has a costume. We know Uncle Sam. But he's taken off his red, white, and blue costume. And he's got a blue ice jacket. And he's got a police jacket. And he's got an ice hat. And the message is that the enemy is no longer external, but internal. And I think it's a very dangerous message. It's not to say there isn't crime. There is crime, but the otherizing that is happening in our country right now is deeply, deeply harmful. So that was what we talked about last week, and we talked about that dynamic and how that happens. Well, literally an hour after we got off the air, one of you, I think, sent me this. And this is another one from Homeland Security, and this is ICE. This is a join ICE, and this is your Uncle Sam again. But I don't know if you can see at the top. I probably should have made this a little bigger, and I can't adjust it now. But Homeland Security. This is from the Homeland Security X account, and underneath it, it says, "Which way, American man?" ? And then it says joinice.gov, and then America needs you. So we're recruiting, quote, soldiers, they're not soldiers, to wage a war on the streets of America. This is dangerous. And the second dangerous piece of it, or the shocking piece of this, is this phrase, "which way, American man?" This is an allusion to a book by a white supremacist, published by, I'm just going to read this, published by an American neo-Nazi organization, the National Alliance. White supremacist captions, iconography, and dog whistles on the DHS account are now numerous, clear, and unmistakable. Which Way, American Man is a direct reference to the title, Which Way, Western Man, which was, in fact, the book by this white supremacist dude. And this is a quote from the book, and I'm not going to read it because it's vile. It's absolutely vile, but it is talking about race, quote, race mixing. And it's his sober judgment that it's the suicide of the people when they allow them to be themselves to be made into a melting pot. Did you catch that? That's the bad thing, this guy says. Well, that is America. That is who we are. We welcome everybody. regardless, or we're supposed to, regardless of nationality or economics or race or religion or anything. We are multicultural. That is who we are. That is who we've always been. Always. And so I am very, very concerned about this enemy making, and I just wanted to call back to that from last week. That this is continuing to go on, and we're continuing to see ICE. Um, we're continuing to see our government otherize us in real time. And I'll continue to speak up against it. I really hope you'll check out that essay. It's on Substack. You can find it easily. How Trump Makes Enemies of God in Our Nation. The final step of making an enemy that you can eradicate is making them the enemy of God, deciding that they are so evil that they are God's enemy as well as yours, and therefore you can kill them. This is under the theory of an incredible person named Sam Keen, who came up with this decades ago, and I've been preaching on it ever since. And we're still in a challenging time. But so I just wanted to call back to that for a moment. But I also wanted to now jump forward to talk about some other things. You guys know that on my arm here, whoops, let me do this. I don't know that this is going to be upside down. Can I do it this way? Yeah. There. Come over here and look at my arm. This long-term listeners will know that I have my tattoo here. This is from the Bible. Me phobosheth. The Greek reads backwards. It reads right to left as opposed to left to right. So this is fear not, or not fear. Don't fear or fear not. Take your pick. Okay? But me phobosheth. The angel said to them, don't fear. That's where I got this. I took it out of the Luke chapter 2 passage, and I put it right on my arm. I'll get it a little closer so you can see that. And that is my own little personal reminder of one of the primary messages of the Bible. I try to remember to look down at this arm. It's where I can see it when I play guitar or if I'm writing. Don't be afraid. Fear not. It's a primary message of Jesus' gospel. So I want to talk about that a bit, and I want to get into it by talking about good habits again. This is me, a picture on my Deep Ellum walk of a couple days ago. Oh, it was beautifully humid out there. Oh, just beautifully humid and wonderful. You guys chime in, by the way. You're being very quiet this morning. Feel free to chime in and say something if you wish. But I'm going on the long walks, and I love walking through the heart of the city. This is downtown. Good morning, Catherine M. This picture is from last night at the top of Winfrey Point out at White Rock Lake. You can see the lake and the sunset. I mean, this looks like it's from some kind of travel guide. See the two couples just sitting there enjoying the sunset. You can see downtown off to the left. Out in the distance, downtown Dallas. Good morning, Catherine. Welcome. Being thoughtful of your words. Oh, good. I'm glad you're doing that, Carol Ann. But these rides, getting out in nature, I'm going to suggest to you that this is a part of what Jesus calls us to do in terms of reducing our worry. I know that doesn't make sense, but maybe it will make sense in just a moment. And here are some examples of some other passages. Isn't that a great photo? I mean, let's just pause on that a minute more. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. I just, you get out there and I guess I've done this enough that I can kind of know when it's about to get amazing. And then it's like, okay, time to stop. Where am I? Where can I get that good picture? But yeah, I mean, this was last evening, just before sunset. So I want to talk to you. I'm going to read these scriptures, and then I want to push into them a bit. And this word of Jesus, and I want to imagine that whoever you are, whatever your sense of religion or faith or no faith is, I hope you can hear these words. This is from the Common English translation. Jesus says to you, imagine Jesus saying this to you today. Therefore I say to you, don't worry about your life, what you will eat, or your body, what you will wear. There is more to life than food, and more to the body than clothing. Consider the ravens. They neither plant nor harvest. They have no silo or barn, yet God feeds them. You are worth so much more than the birds. Who among you by worrying can add a single moment to your life? If you can't do such a small thing, why worry about the rest? Notice how the lilies grow. They don't wear themselves out with work, and they don't spin cloth. But I say to you that even Solomon in all his splendor wasn't dressed like one of those. And don't chase after what you will eat and what you will drink. Read that again. Don't chase after what you will eat and what you will drink. Stop worrying. The nations of the world long for these things. Your Father knows that you need them. Instead, desire his kingdom, and all these things will be given to you as well. Now, I am very aware that that can seem super Pollyanna right now. I'm reminded of the old Bobby McFerrin song, Don't Worry, Be Happy. Ooh. Oh, I probably just gave you an earworm. Sorry about that. I'm reminded of Bobby McFerrin, and there is a head in the sand nature sometimes to where we deny our worry. I'm very confident that's not what Jesus is saying here. Jesus is understanding that worry does happen. Worry is in fact a part of our life. But that God has given us an ability to ground ourselves in reality, to ground ourselves in the reality of the beauty of the world, and to be reminded through that you're going to be okay, that I'm going to be okay, and that this world is going to be okay. There may be a lot of things that won't be okay. There may be a lot of suffering. There may be a lot of needless suffering. But we are called out into nature not to escape. It's not escape, but it's reminder. Good morning, David Griggs. Welcome, my friend. Being in nature is a reminder that God is present in all those moments, that these natural systems of the world continue to thrive even in our most difficult times. And I want to talk a bit about these scriptures and some of these words here. Notice the word I've underlined, consider. Well, we're glad you're here, David. Glad, even if you're late, we're glad you're here. Consider the ravens. I want you to hold the thought of that word consider. And then I want you to notice the word notice. Notice how the lilies grow. Do you see that? In one place, Jesus is saying, consider the birds. In another place, Jesus is saying, notice the lilies. What I'm here to tell you is that this is the same word both times. Other translations just translate it look at. And it's not a meditative word. It's not an imaginative word. It's a literal. It's meant to denote a literal, true thing in the real world. So you understand what I'm saying? So in other words, Jesus is not saying, okay, now everyone sit here and imagine birds in your head. No, that's not what Jesus is saying. Jesus is saying, go outside and look at the birds. Consider them. Watch them. Observe them. Jesus is saying, look at the plants of the lilies of the field. Consider the ravens. They neither plant nor harvest. They have no silo or barn. This passage is just after a story that we talked about a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about hoarding. Do you remember this? We talked about the man with bigger barns. This is literally the verse above this verse I just read. The therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life. Just above that, the verse just above that, is the story of the man with bigger barns. So Jesus is moving directly from this story about hoarding, this story about how we all are too anxious about our stuff. We are possessed by our possessions, as we said, and move straight into this meditation on avoiding worry. Do not worry about your life, what you will eat, about your body, what you will wear. There is more to life than food and more to the body than clothing. I just want to say, you know, in our time, many of the evangelical Christians have made it a heresy, I think, of this idea that God wants you to be wealthy beyond all imagining, right? Just pray and grow rich. It's not true. I mean, literally, he has this story about the foolishness of the man with the bigger barn. And then he follows it up with this. It says, not only are you not promised riches beyond your wildest dream, what you are promised is the strength for the day. That's it. The daily bread, as we say, as we pray. And one of the ways we can trust that we're going to get that we're going to be okay, that you're going to be okay, that this world is going to be okay, even with everything horrible that's still going to happen, is to ground ourselves in these truths. Consider the ravens. Consider the lilies. Don't chase after what you will eat. Look at that. Don't chase after what you will eat and what you will drink. America is obsessed with the pursuit of happiness. It's built into this, as we've talked about before, the Protestant work ethic, that Americans, you aren't promised contentment, but you are promised that you can pursue happiness your whole life. You can work your ass off. You can work 60, 70, 80 hours a week and you can get ahead. The problem is it's never enough, right? It's never enough. There's always a bigger barn. There's always more stuff. And so the pursuit of happiness, we never get there. It's a treadmill. We've been set up on a treadmill. And what Jesus is saying here is literally almost the opposite. Therefore, don't chase after what you will eat and what you will drink. Wow. Don't chase after it. Don't pursue it, if you will. Trust. Have a trust that you are enough and there will be enough. Now, that doesn't mean we don't work hard. Understand that. It's not trying to kick the legs out from our motivation. But sometimes I'm very convinced that the Protestant work ethic that we all live under is demotivating, because when we don't see the results, when we don't become richer than God, or when life is hard, then we can say, give up. We can give up. I guess I'm not blessed by God. I guess there's no hope. I really do believe this is where a lot of the American hopelessness comes from, that we have internalized the idea that we can pursue happiness, but you're never going to get it. But you can pursue it your whole life. Work your ass off. Work yourself to the bone. Strive and strive and strive. But Jesus says the opposite. Do not chase after what you will eat and what you will drink. Stop worrying. The nations of the world long for these things. The, frankly, American myth longs for this. The nations long for these. Your Father knows you need them. Instead, focus on the spiritual thing. Focus on the spiritual thing. Go out into some nature. See some birds. See some sunsets. See some grass. Do that. All right. Karen is saying this. Amen to being in nature. I start each day. This is good. Thank you, Karen. Amen to being in nature. I start each day grounding myself among my neighborhood trees, wild bunnies, and birds. This helps set the tone of my day despite the other world noise that will be amplified throughout the day. Yes, exactly. Exactly it, Karen. Exactly. And remind yourself of this. These bunnies you're seeing are new bunnies. They're not the bunnies you saw 5 years ago. They're not the birds you saw 5 years ago. Nature itself is always renewing and giving you a new message in the new time. Robert Berger says this, and I think this is a wise thing as well. As we age, sometimes this comes to us. He says, when I reached 60, I realized I'm okay, and I do not need to worry about where I'm at. Yeah, sometimes it just comes from the blessing of getting comfortable, right? Getting comfortable with yourself, knowing that it's enough. I think that's true. A couple of, let me set this up. A couple of weeks ago, we talked about Chris Hayes's book on attention. Do you remember this? And where we put our attention, that we are all so obsessed with information, and that, frankly, social media, and it's paradoxical, I'm coming to you on social media, I know. But it gets us in this spiral where our attention is always pulled away from the things that really matter. And we spiral into more and more anxiety about who we are and about the state of our world. At the end of his book on attention, The Siren's Call, Chris Hayes has some suggestions for people, and he talks about meditation, and he talks about Buddhist meditation and Eastern traditions. And in doing this, I was a little sad because he's doing what many, many liberals and progressives do. We are enamored on the left with Eastern traditions, Buddhism, Hinduism. You know, this goes back to the Beatles, right? Going to the East to get enlightenment. You can do that, of course, but I'm going to suggest to you that in our country, there are many people in the Judeo-Christian tradition, and there is a Jewish mysticism that is very, very deep, and there is Christian mysticism that is very, very deep. And this is a core of it right here, this passage of Jesus. Therefore, I tell you, do not worry about your life. There's more to life than body and food. Jesus is calling for the same kind of detachment that those Eastern religions do. Except, notice the key difference. Instead of emptying our mind completely, because Christian faith is an incarnational faith, Jesus is inviting us to be renewed by the world itself. Go outside and look at some birds. Consider the ravens. Watch how they neither plant nor harvest. You are worth more than the birds. So my point is that there is a slight tweak here between Eastern and Western. And I'm not suggesting we shouldn't empty our minds. But I am saying that the Christian meditative journey, at least Jesus' message about this, is to invite us to meditate on the beauty of the world itself, to see the natural systems at play, to trust that life is going on right now. Right now, somewhere in the world, it is sunset. And right now, somewhere in the world, there is a scene like this. Right now. Right now, there is an evening happening, and somebody is going on their evening walk right now. Every moment you live, even in the midst of our sleep, or even in the midst of your busiest day, somebody is experiencing the beauty of nature. And it's out there for us. The bunnies and the birds, as Karen says, they're out there for us. So go and be renewed by that and trust in that. Watch the wind blow through the trees. We're not denying anything challenging about the world. In fact, quite the opposite. We are saying that to be engaged truly with the horrors of our world, we have to take care of the soul. We have to calm that soul inside. And a part of that is grabbing on to reality. Catbird said this: I worry about being a single woman with no partner and no kids and no family support and being a lifelong renter. It's hard not to worry with what's happening. I really do understand that. I really do. And I'm not going to try to talk you out of your worries. I'm really not. I don't want to talk anybody out of their worries right now. I'm not saying don't worry. Again, this is not Bobby McFerrin. This is acknowledging that you have very real worries. By the way, I think a young family has worries right now, right? People who are partnered, people who are raising children in this environment are saying, what are we doing? How do I navigate this with a family right now? All this crap that's going on. So everybody comes at their anxiety and their fear from a different place. We're not going to be able to eliminate it, but we can move through it with that trust in God. At least that's what I think the message is here. Okay, let's do some songs, shall we? I have a couple of songs. I may just do one. Let's see how this goes. I'm definitely doing this one. Right over my shoulder right here, over my right shoulder right here, that's Tom Prasada Rao, my friend Tom. Can I make this smaller? Yep, I can. There's Tom. And he's playing my Santa Cruz guitar. I've talked about Tom a lot, and I play a lot of Tom's songs. Earlier, Nancy, you're saying this sounded like a Fogelberg song. This is actually a Tom Prasada Rao song, which is for all of us in this challenging time. I played this song it's pretty humid today. But I checked that. Tom said at one point in his life that this was the song he was born to write. And it's about this scripture. It's about this kind of chapter in the Gospel of Luke right here. He didn't write a lot of religious songs. He really didn't. But this is a pretty deep one. This is called Beautiful You. Consider the lilies of the field, how they neither sow nor reap. Still God's beauty is revealed. He watches over them in their sleep. So will he not do so for you? Oh, my little orphan child. And when your long dark night is through, you will see the morning smile. Look up, have faith. Your when everybody knows the truth. You were such a reckless fool. You spent all your brilliant youth chasing your rainbows and your shadows too. But don't think you've lost your way, 'cause you're standing at the door, and tomorrow is today. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Look up, have faith, your dreams away. You beautiful, before you were born, God already knew you. God knew you. So ask and you'll receive. Seek and you will find. And it's not easy to believe that the water can turn to wine. Look up, have faith, your dreams away. You beautiful, you. Look up, have faith, your dreams away. You beautiful, you. That's Beautiful You from the great Tom Prasada Rao. God bless. God bless my friend Tom, right here over my shoulder. There he is on the wall back there, playing a guitar, as he always did. It's called Beautiful You. It's on a compilation. Do I have that here? Oh, I do. Hang on a moment. Yeah, I want to show you this. This is fun. Just a moment. Let me get it. Yeah. Some of Tom's friends have put out a really incredibly powerful compilation of his music, and that's the title track, Beautiful You, the songs of Tom Prasada Rao. It's available on all your, it's a double album. It's, oh my gosh, they don't even make them like this anymore. Look, y'all, double album with lots of writing about who Tom was and all the song tracks. I mean, I love the physical product, y'all. The CD or the record, and that's from Tom. That's that. By the way, one more thing. Speaking of records that I wanted to name just as a little joy in my life, Some of you know that some of my favorite songwriters are, well, let me show you the picture, are these three gentlemen right here that I'm about to show you. This is a little shrine. This is just above me, again, over my right shoulder, just above Tom, about, well, the other side of the hawk picture. I have the hawk picture. And so this is kind of high up on the wall. It's almost always out of screen. But I have this little shrine to these three: Stephen Bishop, Dan Fogelberg, and David Wilcox. Many of you know these are my pantheon of favorite writers. Just so happens this week, y'all, Stephen Bishop has a new record out. This week, y'all, David Wilcox has a new record out. This week, both of them have new records out. And as you may remember, Dan Fogelberg has a new record out this year, the 50-year anniversary of Souvenirs, with 4 new tracks. We talked about this. I had it here. I think I took it back downstairs. All 3 of these guys, I just have to note this because this Stephen Bishop has announced this will be his final record ever. This is what he says. Don't know how he can be so confident, but it's his choice. But it blows my mind that in 2025, all 3 of these guys have new music out in the world, and I am here for it. So thank you for that little personal privilege as we end today. All right, I'm not going to do the second song. It didn't. We ran out of time. I'll do it some other time. But I've already talked to you about this song, so I'm not going to put it up on the screen. It's from the Tom Prasad Rao. The song is Beautiful You, from the songs of Tom Prasad Rao. Check it out. And, of course, would love you to check out this guy's record. If you don't, most of you have this. Most of our long-term folks have this record. This was also out this year. Rock Hammer to the Stone, my own record. I was going to do one of the songs from Rock Hammer to the Stone, but I'm going to delay that for another time. But it's out now on all of your favorite platforms, whatever your favorite way to get music or listen to music, including the physical CD. I hope you're enjoying it. Many of you have told me you do, and appreciate the music. All right, friends. Well, go out and look at some birds. Don't just picture them in your head. Do it in the real world. Do real world things. Grab hold of real earth. Hug a tree. I know it's a joke, but it's a different experience when you do it, when your own body and soul, your incarnational being, is connected with the incarnational nature of the world itself. The incarnational nature of nature itself. So go out there. Sally loves the dogs. I see Sally is here. Sally, hug a dog. Hug a dog. Hug a cat. I know it's a little harder to hug a cat. Anyway. Pet a cat. Anyway, friends, do not worry about your life, what you will eat, what you will drink. For just know that every day, we will find our daily bread, and we will find our way, even in a hard time, even in this administration wants you to be afraid. They want you to be divided. They want you to be polarized. They want you to turn on each other, and they want you to turn on your own fear and give into it, and your fear and anger even. Don't do that. Seek first those spiritual things, and then trust that all this stuff will work its way out. Not in the, it's not hard to hug your cat. Well, that's good, Nancy. That's good. That's why you're a cat person. Sorry. Oh, man. I have such a love-hate relationship with cats. Not everything will work out the way we want it to, but God will move through us and in us in all these things, in every day. So keep your head up, breathe deep, drink your coffee, take your moments out like this every week, and come back again next week. Tell other people. It's always great. We have a great hour together, and then we go off for the rest of our real world. So that's what I'm about to do. God bless you all. Keep you. Be safe. We'll see you again next week for Coffee on the Porch. This has been Eric, and God bless you all. Bye-bye.